Well, good evening, everybody. Would you please join me in welcoming our class of 2015? Before we begin tonight's ceremony, if you'd be so kind as to make sure that cell phones are silenced. I know you're going to want to use them for photography purposes. Again, if you could put those on silent or at least make them quiet, I would appreciate it. In a moment, Dr. Skalka, the superintendent of the East China School District, will be introducing our guests and sharing a few thoughts with our graduates. But before he approaches the podium, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Brenda Tenniswood, the East China Assistant Superintendent for Instruction. After 27 years of incredible effort, creativity, and leadership, Mrs. Tenniswood is taking on new responsibilities at the St.Clair Regional Education Service Agency, or the RESA. She is really going to be missed, and I'd like to thank Mrs. Tenniswood.
And now, I'd like to introduce Dr. Skalka, Superintendent of the East China School District.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. It's my honor to introduce the East China School District Board of Education members present and absent here today. Board President, Mr. James Bewer. Board Vice President, Mr. Glenn Kenigbauer. Board Treasurer, Mrs. Amy Murphy. Board Secretary, Mrs. Jeannie Frank. And Board Trustees, Mr. Todd Distelrath, Mrs. Pat Bebuck, and Mr. Alan Richley. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Michael McNamee and Mr. John Folsky, whose terms on the East China School District Board of Education expired December 31st of this past year. We thank these two gentlemen and our current board members for their service to our community. This time of year gets me thinking about a Bruce Springsteen song, Glory Days. In the song, Springsteen sings about the star baseball player and the most popular girl in high school, who are now sitting at the bar every weekend trying to relive their high school years. The refrain of that song tells you, glory days, well, they'll pass you by in the wink of a young girl's eye. Stay with me, I will tie all together here shortly, but I want to tell you about two guys that I lived with on the same floor my freshman year of college. One was John, who was my roommate. Like many of you, you will find out in 3 short months, part of the college experience is learning to live with your freshman roommate, and then learning to never live with them again. John's father was a doctor, his mother was a doctor, his brother was in medical school. John wanted to be a doctor, and I didn't live with him after our freshman year, but I did see him around campus. And it seemed as if most of the time he was never with other people. John's a doctor now. He worked hard to become one, but did he enjoy his college experience? Does he look back and remember it fondly, as I do? Did he build lifelong friendships the way I did? On the other hand, there was Deke, and Deke was his nickname, and I don't remember Deke's real name. But Deke was just as smart as any one of us, otherwise we wouldn't have been accepted. But for him, college was the first real taste of freedom, and rather than studying too much, he partied too much. He got his days and nights backwards, sleeping through the day, going out at night. And maybe the reason I don't remember Deke's name is because he was not invited back for his sophomore year. So you have John, who lived for tomorrow and being a doctor and missed out on the complete experience. And Deke, who lived for today and also missed out on the entire experience. So if I can express any advice to you at all, I would say this: seek balance in your life. Enjoy today while planning for tomorrow. If people told you that high school is the best 4 years of your life, don't believe them. Better yet, prove them wrong. Don't get me wrong, I hope that you've had a really great experience, and I know that you've had a very great experience at St. Clair High School. I hope that you've made a handful of friends with whom you stay in touch. For me, I have 4 high school friends whom I stay in very close contact with. We got together last October, and though we shared a few Glory Days stories, we really have moved on to many more exciting and important things to share with one another. I first gave this speech 18 years ago. I said at that time I was enjoying the best 4 years of my life. But I was confident that the next 4 would be even better. My son was 2 at the time, my daughter was not yet born, and Quinn is now 20, and Emily is 17. I've been married for 22 years to what I believe is the best woman in the world, and I can honestly say that I am in the midst of the best 4 years of my life. So again, please, seek balance. Enjoy today, but plan for tomorrow. So let's enjoy today. Let's enjoy your graduation day. But let's also look forward with great excitement to your tomorrow and make it the next of what will be many great phases in your life. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck to all of you.
On a long and tiring flight, a small child was running up and down the aisles. Although she was a beautiful child, her unsupervised shenanigans were disturbing several passengers. This all came to an abrupt halt when she climbed over an empty seat and landed in the lap of one of the passengers, putting a bruise on his head in the process. The passenger called the flight attendant over, who quickly brought the child to her mother and instructed her to keep the girl in her seat. The mother set the child down, pulled the seatbelt tight across her lap, and ordered, "Now you sit still." The girl sat absolutely still, but she had a huge mischievous grin across her face. "Why are you smiling?" the mother snapped. "Because," the little girl smirked, arms folded across her chest. "I may be sitting on the outside, but on the inside, I'm still running around." Over the past 4 years, we have learned how to stretch the boundaries without breaking them. However, today is a day that we must all sit still, even though I know we are running on the inside. At this moment, we all have the right to choose in what direction we will run. As Dr. Seuss would say, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the only person who will decide where to go. While this is a bittersweet moment for most of us, it is exciting to know that we are moving on to bigger and better things. We have all arrived at this finish line through different routes. Each of us chose a different course that led us here today. The fact is, sitting here today confirms that your race was a success. As we move forward, I would encourage you to try your best in your future endeavors. As Dr. Seuss says, think left and think right, think low and think high. Oh, the things you can think if you only try. You are capable of more, each and every one of you. So whether you scrape by in high school or ace all your classes, try your best to achieve everything you dream of. No matter what route you took, today is the day that we will celebrate you crossing the finish line. In this moment, think about the many decisions and opportunities that you've encountered throughout this process and how you have changed as an individual. While today is primarily about celebrating our academic achievements, there are other things that we have obtained throughout high school that matter more than the mere concepts learned in the classroom. As underclassmen, we measured our time in assignments, classes, and days until summer. We never took a moment to enjoy the little things about school that were important and very special. Over time, priorities changed, and the outlook on school became less of a job. This year, we measured our time in memories, laughs, and accomplishments. Our class was Class of the Year, all of our sports teams rocked, our ACT average was 21.5, and we pulled together to show St.Clair High School what senior leadership is all about, a family. We have truly built a legacy of success. We have also built incredible friendships in our Saints family that will not be forgotten. I would like you all to take a minute to look at those around you and remember the amazing memories that you've had with these individuals. There were so many facets of the school that you could have been involved in that allowed us to connect with each other. You could have been a part of Dylan and the Boys, the band, the choir, a sports team, National Honor Society, student council, or had a really cool independent study hour with an awesome teacher. But no matter what, I hope that you have felt that you have had a family here at St.Clair High School. As you continue to run the marathon so many call life, you will choose which road you will continue down. You could go to college, the military, the workforce, but no matter what you decide, realize it is your decision. Yes, you are at a point in your life where you will choose. There is no more asking mom if it's okay. It is your time to make the decision. You could choose to follow the money, your dreams, your athletic career, or a whim. Regardless of what you choose, I wish you the best of luck. But do not forget the lessons and memories made with the people around you. As Dr. Seuss says, I'm glad we had these times together just to laugh and sing a song. Seems like we just got started, and before you knew it, the times we had were gone. And I will leave you this, in the words of the great philosopher Mark Eberhard. Senior class, it's time to shut it down. Thank you.
Dr. Skelka, Mrs. Tenniswood, members of the East China Board of Education, St. Clair faculty, guest teachers, family and friends, again, thank you very much for coming in support of the class of 2015. Before I begin my remarks, would you please join me in recognizing the beautiful music from both our band and our choirs this evening? All right, these 186 students that sit before me, all of whom are good-looking and above average, have been a successful, united, and fun group. As a class, as Avery mentioned, they earned the highest ACT average of all high schools in the Blue Water area, Division I marks in band, excellent ratings in vocal music, and fielded very competitive sporting teams in all our events. Most importantly, though, these students seem to genuinely like each other. They also like to have fun, which sometimes gets in the way of the business at hand, but I must compliment them on their ability to include one another and also to include students from other schools. If you've had the opportunity to watch the student section during an athletic event, or if you happen to have witnessed the arrival to school on their last day, you would have seen that firsthand. Avery Humes alluded to that in her message about the students being able to choose the life that is enjoyable. By the way, didn't Avery do a great job? So each year, I try to find some historical events that are connected with the graduating class's date and day. And my intent is just to see whether or not these moments can provide some perspective, see if there are any connections with our past. So if you can please indulge me, I'll share with you what I found. On this date in 1678, Lady Godiva rides naked through Coventry in protest of high taxes. How about that? She later received a dress code violation, just so everybody knows. In 1893, the zipper is patented, about 200 years too late for Lady Godiva. 2015 is the 150th anniversary of the end of the American Civil War, the unfortunate assassination of President Lincoln, and the celebration of an event that we now call Memorial Day. Now, I know we have veterans in our audience this evening. Would you please join me in recognizing all active, former, and future members of the Armed Forces? I found this next one really ironic. It's the 130th anniversary of the invention of the roller skate. So, if any of you happen to be missing a roller blade or a couple razors, they're in my office, all right?
So let's look at your time through school in the East China School District.
When you're in kindergarten in 2002, 2003, top music performers, Beyonce, Alicia Keys, Justin Timberlake, Kenny Chesney, Toby Keith, Sheryl Crow, and Eminem. That's when you're in kindergarten. Finding Nemo, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Spider-Man are the top movies. In sports, the Detroit Tigers had just set an American League record for most games lost at 119. The Red Wings are just coming off of a Stanley Cup championship, and interestingly, Coach Mike Babcock is getting his first NHL job, then with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and ironically, he just took a job recently. So when you're in the 6th grade, America, and Michigan in particular, is reeling from the worst worldwide stock market drop in history. In sports, the Lions were 0-16, and that's all I'm saying about that. So in 9th grade, J.K. Rowling publishes the last of the Harry Potter series, The Deathly Hallows. The world population hits 7 billion, and Osama bin Laden goes into permanent retirement. Your senior year includes these items. The marching band goes to Disney World. AP Physics students build protective coverings for chicken eggs so powerful that they won't break even from 80 vertical feet. The powerhouse boy and girl tennis teams as well as the boy cross-country teams make their annual trek to the state finals. 80% of you are scheduled to go on to college or training after school, and you receive scholarships in excess of $2.8 million. Yep. In some world news, Ebola becomes part of our vocabulary. Jimmy Fallon takes over The Tonight Show as its fourth host, and while I agree, I am no Jimmy Fallon. I've got a great house band over here. The Revivers are going to play a tune for you.
And now it's time to build from the bottom of the pit right to the top. Don't hold back. Packing my bags and giving the academy a rain check. I don't ever want to let you down. I don't ever want to leave this town. 'Cause after all, this city never sleeps at night. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. scared. I don't ever wanna let you down. I don't ever wanna leave this town. 'Cause after all, this city never sleeps at night. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. This road never looks so lonely. This house doesn't burn down slowly. To ashes, to ashes. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing who I am.
That's 3/4 of the Revivers, Todd Armstrong, Brandon Pavlo, and John Witherspoon. They are available to perform at local events too, just so you know. That was their present to the class of 2015. It's going to be tough to top that. So I'm going to close the list of friendly reminders that are taken from an article recently written by Mary Dell Harrington and Lisa Heffernan. Just some basic reminders about life. Having good friends is a blessing, but being good friends is obligatory, and that's number one. Number two, females have a better sense of smell. That's just the way it is. You are not what you eat, or what you drive, or where you live. You are you. And if that's not working for you, changing your diet, or car, or home won't fix the problem. Never let your siblings down. They're irreplaceable. They'll be your longest friendship in life, and one day, they'll be the only people that remember your childhood. Number five, when you have that nagging feeling that your parents would disapprove of what you're about to do, pause for a moment. Make sure you're completely aware of the ability to answer those questions that you know are going to be asked, and then provide or proceed with your best good judgment. Number six is own lots of underwear. It will ultimately determine your laundry schedule. Number seven, understand that technology will not make you happy. The people it connects you will. Don't confuse those two. Number eight, answer your mother's texts promptly, or as long as you want her to keep paying for your cell phone bill. When you come back home for a home-cooked meal, or your old bed and laundry service, remember to bring a good attitude. Those things are not your birthright. And lastly, remember you're the product of your upbringing, and your school represents well. So you've been a good, fun group. And thank you for sharing your smiles and good humor, and for helping to make every day a great day at St.Clair High School. And for that, I thank you, and God bless. Dr. Skelka, I certify that these members of the class of 2015 have successfully met all of the requirements necessary to complete their programs of study. I ask that each of them receive the appropriate certification marking their achievement. And before we begin the procession, on behalf of the members of the class of 2015, I ask all in attendance to please control your applause as each graduate is introduced. Remember, each graduate's going to get their name announced every 5 to 6 seconds. We've emphasized the importance of our seniors being supportive of one another, and I ask that their families do the same. This is a significant achievement for all these kids, and it would be disrespectful for our graduates, or to our graduates, if the families of one graduate interrupts the announcing of the name of the next graduate. I know that you will cooperate with that, and I thank you in advance.
Keely Margaret Myers. Miranda Marie Gregg. Claire Nicole Matson. Emma Ann Kotletsky. Taylor Elizabeth Westrick. David Patrick Bergeron. Todd Michael Armstrong. Allison Renee Teckaberry. Michael James Arft. Lauren Elizabeth Ledesma. Avery Nicole Humes. McKenna Catherine Chahosky. Brittany Ann Drummond. Amanda Marie Singer. Sadie Rose Shirky. Chelsea Lynn Schweiger. Samuel Peter Tracy. Sarah Margaret Huffman. Erin Marie Rourke. Ellen Ann Fitzmaurice.
John Nathaniel Lanzi. Mitchell Sherman Moore. Lawrence David O'Shadless. Cassandra Ray Harms. Jamie Lindsay Smith. Kayla Rose Wendt. John Woodruff Estapa. Dylan Paul Gottschalk. Curtis Gerard Ryan. Genevieve Gowley Koo. Trevor Daniel Pickett. Clark Fitzpatrick Lamb. Alexis Callie Koo. Sean Michael Lawrence. Connor William Spencer. Scott Michael Brickner. Hannah Marie Gamola. John Mark Pugh. Anton James Cataldo. Olivia Aida Packin.
Daniel Benjamin Miller. Ashley B. Cleese. Adam James Toby. Courtney Lynn Disselrath. Megan Lee Schweihofer. Daniel Therese Jandura. Tucker Jacob McGinnis. Christopher Allen McCullum. McKenna Rosalie Siner. Ashley Ann Smith. Brandon Lee Pavlo. Austin Lee McDowell. Mackenzie Marie Mazzola. Cheng Yang Hang. John Patrick Witherspoon. Tara Elizabeth Riedel. Erica Lynn Worden. Daly K. Madel. Nathan Paul Edwards. Rachel Danielle Plonka.
Beatrice Anna Carlson. Brandy Mary Kontowski. Peter Jameson Gross. Jared Andrew Ambrose. Amani Ashif Syed. Kristen Nicole Kalakovich. Miranda Lynn Meinke. Ashley Marie Johnson. Ian Johannes Eberhard. Allie Lynn Winkler. Bradley Todd Lawson. Danielle Amy Azwala. Michaela Marie Venditti. Hannah Marie Steyer. Lauren Marie Washburn. Nathan Everett Donaldson. Michelle Ann Shaw. Elliot Michael Kassler. Nicholas Lee Ball. Nicholas Santos Aquino.
Elizabeth Susan Estella Olak. Scott James Drummond. Scott David Bradley. Laura Victoria Ann Bloom. Austin Thomas Wiley. Graham Gerard Schweihofer. Caitlin Jean Finnegan. Mackenzie Irene Kent. Elizabeth Ann Dillon. Amanda Ann French. Madeline Sophia Miro. Nathan Laverne Roberts. Aloysius Peter Schweihofer IV. Jessica Nicole Brown. Anthony Charles Buffa. Robin Louise Diller. Amelia Virginia Black. Madeleine Alice Diane Agilo. James Richard Allen Jr. Justin Daniel Bacon.
Abby Marie Black. Darren Michael Bondi. Miles Carson Boyd Jr. Brendan Michael Bremerkamp. Angelica Marie Briggs. Haley Elizabeth Buslip. Jesse Aaron Cadrew. Leah Nicole Kyra. Carly Marie Carter. Daniel Jacob Sippa. Cassandra Lynn Camario. Aliaz Koralik. Sean Patrick Coughlin. Claire Ruth Cunningham. Rory Ann Dale. Victoria Rose DeSherian. Jacob Martin DeYonker. Austin Roy Dubé. Pila Neela Eggers.
Lindsay Lee Fountain. Joseph Herbert Fraley. Lucas Marcellus Burton. Mary Kristen Catherine Guerin. Adrian Reese Garcia. Ryan Alexander G. Elizabeth Ray Gladfelter. Tristan Daniel Nesda. Jacqueline Lee Hanikow. Luann Francis Hill. Donovan James Holleran. Andrew Joseph Inwood. Sunsire Rose Johnson. Katie Marie Just. Chase Matthew Cameron. Matthew Christian Kerrigan. Madison Johanna Kurzakowski. Aaron Morrison King. Raymond Joseph Leduc.
Simone Renee Lamontagne. Aaron Dominic Lawrence. Allison Lee Liverance. Elizabeth Ann Terhune Mabin. Kareen McRae Catherine Madden. Joseph Michael Martin. Morgan Ashley Martin. Timothy Frank McLaren. Hunter James Joseph McFarland. Cheyenne Sierra McKnight. Antonio John Mercier. Paige Marie Moore. Jared Matthew Nichols. Gabriella Mariana Nosafora. Juan Daniel Padilla. Alexandra Caroline Painter. Kayla Marie Pauli. Skylyn Rose Palka. Joshua Thomas Pipe. Kyle Gerard Pizarski.
Anthony Charles Plotsky. Leonard Elias Prees. Jacob Dylan Queener. Ryan James Radlett. Andrew Michael Robertson. Gerald Arthur Roberts III. Jacob Bradford Romine. Casey Michael Shutt. Peyton Claire Schaefer. Kiera Malin Simons. Luke Wayne Skinner. Aaron John Smith. Patricia Marie Smith. Dylan John St. Pierre. Jake Thomas Stablin. Luke Michael Sterling. Jordan Nicole Terry. Alicia Francisca Tumel.
Caitlin Rose Van Heis. Samuel Joseph Vesna. Adriana Catherine Viviano. Jacob Alexander Wiegand. Mia Christina Westrick. Ashley Marie Wojciechowski. Tyler John Wummel. Tyler Joseph Zdrowski.
Just a couple photographs to go. And while we're wrapping things up, for those of you attending the senior all-night party this evening, make sure that you're parked at St. Clair High School using the east parking lots by Cox Road, somewhere between 8 and 8:45. You're going to have a good time. Remember to show gratitude to the parents who have volunteered to put this event together. Again, it's entirely a parent-driven event. So again, make sure that you tell lots of people thank you. Okay, in a few moments as you leave the gym, you're going to pick up your diplomas, which are in the east end of the arena. Right now, you just have your diploma cover. Your diplomas are back there. Counselors are going to walk you out. Mr. Shield is going to lead out the odd rows this way, and Mrs. Higgins is going to lead the even rows out this way. Just keep marching in just like you did when you came into the gym. So if we can have the executive officers come up here, please. Exactly. All the members of the class of 2015 to please rise for the gospel turning. All right, ladies. Congratulations. I present to you alumni class of 2015. Mr. Shield and Mrs. Higgins, please leave our